Greetings, family. This is the love of Ahmun, and I'm coming to you today to reach out, say a few words, say hello. We all know that the son of Ra, Grandmaster Teacher, Akan, Truth of Ahmun, is very busy. And so, as the family, I invite you all to, those of you, and you know who you are, to share some words of wisdom and inspiration to the family as we move along during our next phase. Okay? And so I reach out to you today because I want to, hit on a few topics. And one is becoming more self-reliant, self-sufficient as the family. And the other one is being youthful, in all things that you do. And so having that mindset and being just exactly who you are as man and woman. And so here we go. Now, first thing, being self-reliant and self-sufficient. It is very critical that we do that as the family. And so I'm not just asking you, I command and demand that you do this. You begin proceeding forward with such of a mindset because we all can look around us, look at our environment, and see that it is crumbling before our eyes. Now that's mankind's system, and I'm glad for it, and I want it to crumble. How's that? And and as man, in the family of man, woman, as that system of mankind crumbles, I cheer it up. I cheer that aspect of it greatly. I want to see it go. I want to see it go. I want to see it go. I don't think you heard me. I want to see it go. Okay? So love of Ahmun, just how do you feel about that? Yes, I want to see it go. And because I know when it goes, there's something greater to take its place. And that would be we, the family of man. And, although this is not the teaching, platform to teach other insolent ones, folks that are just not going to do and not going to progress along and just want to sit and listen and learn and just, harbor the information and really not do anything great in terms of the enhancement of man. This message is not for you. So, family, keep that in mind as you're listening. It is important to me to speak slowly and to be mindful, of what I'm saying, because again, it's not that I am not teaching. It's just that I will not be teaching someone or anyone that is not of man, is not for the progression of man, and who doesn't have man's success and heart on their mind. I do not teach to you. So, but to the family, I want you to begin to take inventory begin to look through your intelligence as man and woman around you. Use all of your senses. And because I know those of you that have been listening and have been here for a while, learning of the Ahmun, okay, getting guidance, you already should be, let's say, prepared, right? And to you, I say, continue to prepare and do as instructed. And for those of you that are just hearing the messages and you have been inspired to move and do some things and wake up the family and move forward with us, then make sure you're preparing and getting such things, and you know what those things are. Just do it. And so as we become more self-sufficient, that means we're going to step away from mankind's foolishness. You have to make a decision. And some of us, some folks in the family, quite frankly, are still sitting on the fence on a lot of things. They're still sitting on the fence. Some of you have spouses that are, let's just say not with the program. Or better yet, maybe they are still in the program. I'll say it that way, And some of them are not good individuals. They're not good people. And then you have some that are with folks, and they're good people. They just still asleep, But it's about more than just being good. Although that's great. And your heart is in the right place. That's good too, because it gotta be. That's the beginnings of it. That's the foundation. But, life is about choices and decisions and intelligence and wisdom and knowledge. And it's time that, you put on your right garment as man and woman and walk, truly walk the walk and walk these things that you say and talk. And there should be evidence and fruit because there's fruit whether or not, folks, you believe it or not. There's great evidence because you see, action can bring fruit or materialize, and things, and inaction can materialize and bring forth things that consist of nothing. It's true. And so, and that may be a philosophic statement, but that's where I stand on it. Because nothing is something. It's just nothing of any produced use. For use, okay? If that makes sense to you. And so, for me, it's about taking inventory of the folks that are in my environment, And if they don't line up with the ordinance of man, well, you know what to do. I know what to do. Eliminating things of filth. That is people, that is places, and that is things. And filth can be considered many things. Filthy ways, filthy speaking, filthy ways of being, filthy ways you talk to people, filthy ways you allow people to talk to you. Well, you're man and woman, and that should not be taking place. But my point is, as man and woman, at this juncture, this era, you're going to have to take a stand, folks. And I know the Ahmun has been moving us that way with the different teachings of the recent past, within the last few cycles, right? Last few, I want to say within more than what would be considered a year, right? You all know what I'm talking about. So, making decisions, because a decision time is coming, and some it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy for you, and some of you, because of this venom that the Ahmun talks about, it's not going to be easy for you. Now, that's the frank truth, folks. That's the truth, family. And, but as for me and mine, I walk away. And it's easy for me. So, I can begin to share just with the family, what I did to walk away. And you're not going to be concerned about what folks think, their personal, scholarly, erudite opinion. No. I walked away years ago. And I was called crazy for it. Because I refused, family, I refused to do certain things. And still will not. Because I know, well, I will say back then, I know I didn't have a full understanding. But Son of Ra, Grandmaster Teacher, Ahmun, the truth of Ahmun, spoke of many things and still speak of many things. And I learned, folks. And I got great understanding. And still understanding, It's a process. But you see, folks, I say it's a process. But for me, as I said before, it was easy. And I just walked away. One day I just said, because I always knew this environment, the way people processed, and the way these folks spoke and taught, it was not me. I didn't resonate with any of that. It wasn't me. And I never strove to be a part of it. It meaning mankind's system and ways of doing and thinking and their way of being. That was not who I was. And so I didn't. And frankly, when I got old enough, as the folks say, when I got grown, oh, I really stepped away. Because, as long as you're under, certain folks, your parents' roof, there's order. And as man, there's order, there's respect, right? Um, and if you're not going to do a certain thing because you know it's against man, there's still order in that and expressing that. And so I did that. And so my point is this. It's decision time, folks. And stepping away and getting off grid or stepping away from... You see, mankind's system is every place. It's like a swimming pool, right? And you toss a ball in it. The ball is in this substance of water in this pool. And so it's surrounded by water, everything. And so this water is analogous to mankind's system. So folks, because you're in this system, and I'll say this system because that's the term I'll use, because I know most of you know what that means. Every nuance and aspect of mankind's existence is that system. And so whether you want to receive it or not, you're in it. Man, woman, you're in it. And and I sit and I ponder this and I think about this a lot. And maybe it comes down to philosophic, maybe that's something that can be discussed as the family. But my point is this, or reasoning behind what I'm saying is this. You're going to have to step away. And that means not taking a lot of mankind, and I'm going to say a lot of, and there's a reason why I'm saying this. You're not going to take a lot of, I'm going to put that in quotes, mankind's systematic foolishness with you. That stays behind you when you walk away. And then as man and woman, it's like a mind cleansing process. Because see, you just jumped out of the pool, back to that analogy, you jumped out of the pool so you're no longer wet, right? Wet meaning with mankind's residue, right? And once that is dried off you, then you can begin to gain some senses and intelligence about your environment and where you are and what you have to do. And you can begin to receive because you're out of a certain frequency or system. And so now, here, follow me, folks. So then now you can begin to hear and operate according to your inner built system, right? Of who man truly is, right? I'm going to say without interference, a little interference. It just depends on the residue. The Khan gave an analogy of snake and venom. And so to me, my personal opinion, as long as you're in the system, although you took you got bit by the snake, but you're still in the system. And if you don't get out, but you're trying to operate as man and woman and be independent, as long as you're in that snake system, it's just like carrying a snake around your neck. but you're out of the system, if you follow what I'm saying. So the snake is still biting you. It's still injecting venom. You're still full of venom. And worst part about it, you got the snake on you. It's all over you. Ooh. But anyway, you get where I'm going with this. So for some of you, I just say, get out. Just, it reminds me of that movie. But just step away. Get out. In your mind, it's like the fog, the fuzzy, unclear man thinking, or that mankind thinking process. That residue will dry up just like that water, right? And then you have to do things to clean that chlorine water off you. That's another topic, right? Cleansing process, getting that venom out your system, getting the residue off you, so that you're this new shiny piece of, work. I'll say that. And so then you can begin to be self-sufficient. Now, earlier, back to what I said when I put a lot of mankind stuff in quote in his system, a lot, remember that? Well, remember, you all know that mankind created all this stuff based on your very senses as man, right? What do you mean by that? Your sense of touch, sight, smell. You'll have so many senses as man. Mankind will say, oh, you got 6 senses. No, well, that's mankind. Go ahead and run with that, mankind. But man has senses you can't even count. You'll stop. You'll run out of numbers, right? In terms of the vastness of what man truly is in terms of senses and intelligence. And so to fully operate in it, or put your plug back into the mankind system, out of the mankind system, put it and plug it back into man, you got to unplug from mankind. But in doing so, because you're man, this is where they a lot, not taking a lot, you can use your intelligence as man and woman. Use your intelligence to take some of those things that mankind has made and salvage little pieces and philosophies and those things that can be salvageable, and use it in the fullness of what you can at your level as man. And I hope that's making sense, because I ain't trying to teach these other knuckleheads. I'm not. But the family, I want you to get this. And so now you can begin. I'll tell you, your thought processes will change, because that venom is leaving your system once you're out of it. And then you have to do things to, detox yourself and clean yourself. But you can begin to think properly as man. And you will be driven to be self-sufficient. You'll be driven to have some kind of order and come together as man and begin to structure and organize, because and then begin to take true advantage of the era that we're living, folks. That we're living. And I'm going to stop that topic right there. I'm going to stop right there. And then I'm going to begin to talk about this youth. Because, see, I'm very young. I'm young. I'm a baby. I'm young. But I have learned of the Son of Ra. I have learned of the Grandmaster Teacher. I have learned of the Ahmun. And I have learned of the truth of Ahmun. And there is guidance in that, folks. And there's great appreciation of that. And with that becomes, you become wise at what you do. and intelligent in all things that you do, and then you will be motivated. I almost want to say catapulted into wanting to make sure that the family of man has that strong foundation of knowing who they are, what they're supposed to be doing, and why they're here. And you'll be driven, and you will teach it. You will start in your own environment. So yes, the love of a mom teaches. She's just very careful and wise about what she says because of what has been deposited into her. And who she speaks, and where she speaks, and how she speaks. And you do it with intelligence, folks, and with great appreciation. And I'll close right there. I'll probably do a part 2, but for now, I'm going to close.